Alright guys, so today we're gonna take off the intake manifold because my flaps broke. I have my old one back here. It's already off. But I installed the sensors wrong. The ones that actually open and close the flaps. So just wanted to make a little video if you guys are doing the same thing, and if you're having trouble. I like to start with the intake first, all the hoses. There's a few of them. I think there's like 7 or 6. It's pretty simple. I mean, if you want, just take a picture of the hoses before you take them off, so you know where they go when you're putting it back together. So I like to start with the intake, take them all off. The sensors, I think there's like 2 of them. Then I like to move on to the fuel rails. So you have to unscrew this here, take off the sensor insulator, disconnect the fuel line, and that's pretty much it. There's I think there's 2 bolts for the fuel rail on each side. They're 10 millimeters, and then there's 3 bolts for the intake itself on each side. That's also 10 millimeters, and after that, it should be a pretty simple process. If this is your first time taking off your intake manifold, you're gonna have some trouble in the back here because there's 4 connectors, 1 here, 1 down here, and 2 on each side for the actuators for the flaps. And if it's the first time doing this job, they are taped to the intake. So I'll show you guys how to do that when I'm actually taking it off. Okay, so let's go ahead and start disconnecting the hoses here. So I already have this one pried off, so I just gotta pull it like that. You won't do the rest to all of them. So that's done. Some of these are tricky. You have to, in order to get it out, you push it down, you push forward, and then back. So try not to break those because they're obviously plastic. Like these are pretty simple. Okay, I guess it doesn't want to come out. But yeah, you get the idea. Okay, so I took the intake out. I just take this part off because there's really no reason to take this off. So it's not gonna be on your way, so I would just leave it. Yeah, that's pretty much it on the intake side. I do like to unbolt the throttle body itself. There's 4 bolts. 2 on top, 2 on the bottom. Just because it's a pain in the ass to take this sensor off, so it's easier for me. It's really simple. So I'm gonna move off to taking this off now, so it can get out of the way when you're pulling the intake manifold off. One other thing I almost forgot is your fuse box. You want to take out the this one right here. It's for your fuel pump. So in case you turn on your accessory mode on your car, so it won't leak fuel once you disconnect the fuel rail right there. So just want to take it off, put it somewhere safe, don't lose it because you'll need it. Okay, so I took off the guards there. You can see the fuel rail there. It has the insulator and then this plastic bracket, if you want to call it. To take off the fuel line, you'll have to push on the bottom. It has 1 tab on this side, 1 tab on the other side. You can do it with your hands. Push it up, and this is gonna come up. And then all you do is just pull it back, like that. And then fuel's gonna come out. Make sure you have a rack so it doesn't spill everywhere, like it did just now. It's not a lot of fuel, but it's gonna dry off. Just make sure. And then just do the same thing on that side. So again, the nuts that it has there, the insulator, and then move this hose to the side like that, and then you have better access. And then just move on to the bolt here for the fuel rails, and then you want to disconnect the injectors, and then it has 3 more bolts on each side, and then you could pull the intake up and pull it forward so you have access to the back. I'll show you guys that in just a bit. Okay, so I'm just about ready to pull out the injectors. So all you gotta do is just pull up like that. Back here too. There you go. The other side. And the injectors are off. Just make sure you have a rack so it doesn't spill the gas that's still in the injectors. The fuel rail here. Just pull it up like that. And oops. There you go. Okay, so I had to move to my phone because the camera died. So this is how the intake should look. It's not fully off, but it should give you some space if you pull it up and forward. So you have access to the wires back here. Like I said, there's 2 connectors there, and 1 connector there on this side, and 1 back here. So you will need to disconnect those before. Like I said, if it's the first time, it is gonna have some tape. The wire harness is gonna be taped to the manifold itself, so you have to cut that off. At first it's kind of difficult because you're not able to pull it as forward as it is right now, so just be aware of that. And yeah, just disconnect those 4 and then it should come off. All right guys, so that's gonna be it for this video. To install it back in your car, it's gonna be the same process, just doing it backwards. For the spec on how to torque these down, I do it by hand, but it is 106 inch-pounds. Okay, I did it by hand. It should be fine if you do it by hand. I don't think there's a problem with that. Just don't torque it too tight because the block is aluminum, so you don't want to strip it or break the bolt in there. All right, hope you guys like this video. It really helps my channel if you guys leave a comment, like, or subscribe. This will be my first how-to video. I'm trying to start my channel, so thank you guys for watching.